Hold it back. Three-way up. Three-way up. Three up. 1, 2, 3, 1. 3, 1, 2 to go herd.
Was on a tangent, being managed out here without a heart, but this girl changed me. Can't explain. Really don't know where to start. There's nothing like a girl. Damn, she got that dough. I'm drugging, and once I gotta hit it, the direction when I'm coming back. Figured I hit it once, it would be great, but I'm feeling it, get the feeling back.
Well, welcome. Thank you all for joining me to Love Levels. As you know, we are exploring the dating dynamics today. And I really want to get to the bottom of your personal perspective and experience. But before that, I'd love for you to introduce yourselves and just name, age, what you do. We'll start here and go this way.
My name is Alicia. I'm 33 years old and I serve in the military.
Okay, awesome. So active duty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome.
My name is Nicholas. I am a pastor and a licensed therapist, and I'm an Army veteran, and I am 30 years old.
Okay.
My name is Tomorrow. I am from Chicago. I am a vice president, level manager at a Fortune 500 financial firm, and I'm 37 years old.
Okay, financial firm. Is that like can you get me a loan or?
Yes.
Oh, like that? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So is everybody single or in a relationship or married?
Single.
Single?
I'm dating.
Dating?
Single, never married.
Single, never married?
Yeah.
Okay. Any children?
I have two.
Okay.
Two boys.
2 boys. What's their age?
9 and 5.
9 and 5. Okay. That's tough. You know, boys.
My 9-year-old going to be 10 this month.
Okay. Okay. Any children for y'all?
Yes, I have 2 daughters. One is 18 and one is 9.
Okay.
Yep.
18 and 9.
Yep.
And then 9 and 5.
Yeah.
And when you say dating, does that mean like in something that could lead to marriage, or is it kind of?
I just started something serious yesterday. So.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you made the decision yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right before he came on the show,
Yes.
he's like, let us lock this down.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes.
Now, how long have you been single?
I've been single for 3 years now.
3 years. What about you, Tomorrow?
I have been single for 5 years. I was actually scheduled to get married August 8th of 2020, and through fasting, praying, seeking wise counsel through your booking site, it wasn't the right move for me at that time. So I called the wedding off like 4 months prior, and I've been single since.
Wow.
Yeah.
What made you call it off?
Like I said, I was fasting, praying. One of the things that when we connected, I called you and I booked you, and I was like, is there any way I could speak to Cherie? And you were like, no, she's not, your wife. You was like, no, she's not really doing the life coaching just yet. I'm like, I really need the perspective of a woman at this point. And I was asking you, like, I feel like I have cold feet. And you were like, women usually don't get cold feet. I feel like your heart is afraid of where you're about to place it. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. And again, through fasting and praying, seeking wise counsel, my pastor, things like that, it just wasn't the move.
Okay.
So-
So you've been single for how many years?
Since 2020, so 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And how is it dating, as single moms?
Want to take it? I actually don't date. I don't do much dating. Right now, I'm just focused on my career, my calling, my girls, God, so I have not done much dating. So I'm looking to get back into the dating field. I'll date here and there just to make sure that I'm not like socially awkward when I'm in the presence of a man, but I usually don't date.
Do men approach you?
All the time.
All the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had.
Well, that's a good problem to have. I don't hear that often. Because
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm like, okay, you going out, you moving around, guys
Yeah.
approaching you. Do you give your number out?
I don't.
Okay.
No, and
So
I've
you're
had-
not looking for love, or are you? And you're just looking for the right guy?
I'm looking for the right situation. I feel like when God pretty much showed me that wasn't the man for me, or at that time, that wasn't the situation, it allowed me to see that God is in the details of who you marry, and it's a huge thing. And so I think with that, I'm very intentional about, just hooking up with anybody or talking to anybody. Like, it has to have purpose for me. And I have really been open for it lately,
Okay. What has been your experience, Alicia?
It can be a little flustering because I'm in the military, so I see men and work with men every day. It's not hard at all to get a date. And I'm not, trying to brag about it, but
The military men, they be kind of.
yeah, they can be. It just depends, because I deal with a lot of ethnicities, and not a lot of black men approach me as much. I would say like Latino or white guys.
Really?
Or Caribbean men. That's the most blackness I get. But other than that, like, I don't like the American black man is just like, I don't know. I don't get a lot of approach from them.
Why
as
do you
much.
think that is?
The last date I've been on with an African American man, we were talking about like looks and things like that. So I don't know if it was what I wore to the date. I thought I was as modest as I could be, but he told me like, "Oh, you give me the impression you a baddie," and I was like, "What is a baddie supposed to do? Like, what they look like?" He said, "They look like you, like with the hair, the like the way you dress." But to me, I just had jeans and a black shirt on with some heels and a leather coat. So I don't know how he got the impression, but I don't know if it's like everyday girls on like rap videos or something like that. But
I think it's an unfair thing that happens to black women. And tomorrow you probably have the same issue of like, if you have a shape, it doesn't matter really what you put on. You look like you're doing the most and you can't help it. And that's something that every man notices, single, married, engaged, like a man notices women. And some men, I would say most men are insecure. Like, we battle insecurities and we have to overcome it. And so if we don't feel like we're man enough to hold a woman, meaning like hold her attention and really stand our ground and feel confident, we'll try to, take shots at her, break her down, and get her to change who she is to make us feel more comfortable until we get to that place. What would you say has been, your experience, before finding someone to date, and being a young man? How has it been? What's the dating market like?
I would say it's been a mixed bag. I would think like, I would be unfair to say I haven't met great women, but I don't necessarily know if they were my person. So I don't think good always means like God's good for me. So I'll put things in that perspective. And then there's been some very challenging experiences where like, I'm dating someone and things are very challenging. Yeah.
Is it challenging to stay out of the bed?
To do what now?
Stay out of the bed?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a challenge,
Yeah.
And you are a pastor.
Absolutely.
Is that kind of like a associate pastor, or like you do you get to preach sermons sometimes, or
Yeah.
You're not a senior pastor though?
I'm not right now.
Okay, but you
Yep.
get to preach sermons.
Yes, sir.
And so for you, Nick, how challenging is it, being a man of God? And I feel like in the work that I do, maybe 99.9% of women say they want a man of God. Mm-hmm. But I would also say 90% of women say they don't really meet men of God, meaning they say I'm a man of God, but then they end up in the bed of fornication. Mm-hmm. How challenging is that?
I would say it's very challenging. Like, I mean, like when God creates mankind, he does it from the dust of the ground. So I recognize that all of us are just made of dirt, including myself. So I find myself wrestling with who I want to be versus who I actually am. And then also trying to maintain the ideal of this is who I'm supposed to be and always affirming that. So I find myself in that tension all the time. However, I pray and I always ask God to like remove this spirit of lust from me, remove me away from like this spirit of like fornication and wanting someone's body over who they are. God, I ask that you make me to be someone who wants your kingdom above like something temporary. And so that has been grounding me.
And I will tell you that God does not remove it. So I think, so what I would say is pray the prayer of, Lord, give me the strength.
Yes, sir.
To fight it.
Yeah.
To overcome it.
Yes, sir.
Because I feel like just as a man, it's innate. Go be fruitful, replenish the earth. Like it's there. And then we have to get to that place to where we can pray for the strength to overcome. Now, Nick, I want to get your perspective on this. You being a man and not married yet. How is it today? Because we have 2 single moms and the world kind of, in my opinion, beats up on single moms. Why do you feel that is? Like, what do you think is the root of a man's thoughts or fears when it comes to dating a woman with children?
I think that we live in a very very fortunate time and an unfortunate time at the same time, where people are prioritizing like some of the right things and some of the wrong things. And I think the dating market is kind of poisoned by both. And unfortunately, one thing that happens is like when you're thinking about, I want who is great for me, you might miss what's actually best for you. And so I think that men are oftentimes like, oh, X, Y, and Z, no, or like X, Y, and Z, no. Everybody's kind of like that today. And people end up getting ruled out of the equation because people aren't taking the time to actually think, listen. Nobody's praying. Like the Bible says, pray without ceasing. Nobody's doing that, right? Nobody's praying before they meet somebody. Nobody's praying before they call that person, they got their number and going on a date. Nobody's asking God, like, is this actually a person I should talk to? And so, like, because of that, we're just moving based off of what we heard on social media, or moving based off of like what our frat brothers told us, or what, you in the military, our commanding officer may have said in a backroom conversation. And meanwhile, like, we may be missing what is God's best for us. So because we don't have a prayer posture or a listening to what's best for us posture, we end up missing out on what's God's best for us posture.
So a lot of like selfishness.
Absolutely.
And self-loving.
Absolutely.
Now, what is something that you feel, if you were to meet your husband, next month, what's something that you want that man to represent, or what type of man would that be, being that, you have children, and so you're going to be bringing him into their lives? What type of man are you preparing for?
I would say submitted to God. I think that so many times, like you said, people say, I believe in God and things like that. But I think knowing your mission, right? Like, I can't sub to your mission if you don't know what your mission is, right? And if that mission aligns with my mission of what God has called me to do, I think that is alignment for me. And my ex-fiance, on paper is an amazing guy, right? He is educated, smart, 6 figures, tall, dark, handsome, all of the things, right? But that's just not enough. It's the spirituality of it, right? Like, do we align?
So would you say that, as far as your husband, what do you feel about his personality? Like, what type of mentality does he need to have for you to introduce him to your children?
That's a good question. I think trustworthy. Like I said, submitted to God, because, like the Bible tells us that the Holy Spirit will teach us things that we know not of, right? And so being submitted to God just means a whole lot, because the Holy Spirit is going to stop you from doing things that other people would do, or just have a aura about yourself, right? That you don't get into certain things. So I think just that spirituality and obviously educated, doing something with your life, those type of things. Yeah.
What would you say, Alicia? Like, what type of guy would you feel comfortable? Because you have 2 daughters?
Two boys.
2 boys,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So that's a little different,
Yeah,
because, well, I mean, 2026,
Yeah.
you guys, you never know. So
Right, yeah.
what type of man would you want around your boys?
I definitely look for someone who is has a strong mindset. I'm really big on them being connected with God. However, I grew up in church all my life, and I've seen how men in the church, they can pretend a lot, and like I don't tell them off the bat like, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm spiritual. Like I leave that at home. But I look and I observe. If they bring up God, we're gonna have a good conversation about it, and they're gonna know like, oh, okay, she know the Bible, she know her stuff. But I don't really speak on spirituality a lot. I just try to let the man talk to me, let me know who they are. I listen a lot, and I'm probably someone who talk really less, but I like to listen, and him telling me who he is, it lets me know, okay, I can have this person in my life around my kids. I'm really big on them being like a man's man, a mentor, someone who know how to hustle and can be multitasked. Because my life is like, I'm in the military. Sometimes I'm in the field. I come home, I spend time with my kids, and I'm back at it again. So they got to be able to move with me with that, and that's what I look for. So like I look for someone who I can trust, and if I can't trust you, I can't have you in my life. I can't have you around my kids.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? You said something that's very profound and something very key. And because you know God, you love God. And tomorrow, what you were describing is like, I hear that, and feel that, and I hear it a lot. What I would say, what I want more, and I would recommend more women to pick up that mentality that you have, Alicia, because so many women, they lead with God, and I want a man of God, I want a man of God. But God is so vast and so hard to put in words. And no man can compare to God. No man will come close to God. Like a man is a man. A Christian man is still a dog. He got to beat that dog every day. A man of God who go to church every day, still fighting that dog. And so if more women would just remove all the titles, remove all the words, and just look at who he is and how he moves, how he walks, how he carries himself, and does his life, does his actions line up with the Word of God, and take that approach. Because what happens is, and Nick, you've experienced this, you're not a virgin, right?
I'm not a virgin.
You're not a virgin. So you've
No,
experienced this. And I have too. You've experienced a woman saying she is a woman of God.
Absolutely.
And she want a man of God, but then fornicating. And so a lot of us, we've all made that mistake. And I think that's why, is because we're just living it in word and not in deed. And as soon as somebody says, oh, I'm this, then we drop our guard and we move forward. Now, how do y'all feel as, women? And Nick spoke to it of, it's a lot of selfishness in the world. And we don't have a lot of episodes where we have mothers, but I see like there were prominent teachers and speakers who were like, basically say, if you are a mother, if you're a single mom, you worthless, you trash, you got to accept what you accept. When y'all hear that type of rhetoric on the podcast, and if they interview 10 men and they all say, I don't want a woman, or 8 of them say, I don't want a woman with kids, how does that make y'all feel? Like, what do you take from it? How do you move forward after it?
It don't bother me at all. Because to be honest, before I had kids, I didn't like men with kids, so I don't have no dog in that fight. But I like, as someone with kids now, I look for someone who has kids. I get approached by a lot of men that don't, and that kind of like a red flag for me. It's because like you at this age and you ain't got no kids. Like what's going on? But I prefer someone with kids because they have that mindset of, you know, what it's like to have kids, what it's like to, you know, the moments that you get in where you're busy, you're a single parent. So it's something that I don't have to explain to them. Like, oh, let me go pick up my son from school. He's not having a good day today. Or me having to cancel one appointment to do something for my boys. So I just look for someone who could be more understanding, and like for those type of men who see us, you know, single moms as, you know, not worth dating, then that's fine. Like, you get out the way because somebody else is better. So it doesn't bother me at all.
Really?
Like
Not at all. You're not just saying that to say that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
When you
because
hear it, you don't feel no type of way.
Yeah, I don't feel no ways at all because
Okay.
it's just their mindset. And I know, like, when I look at a man and they bash women in that manner, it just lets me know, like, dang, who hurt him? So like, I feel bad for that type of man because, you know, every man wants a kid. They want to see their seed in this earth. So for someone who wants to bash a woman who gives life, like, it's like somebody hurt you, and it shows. So,
That's deep.
I have to agree. It doesn't bother me. And I think that's more so because I've had 3 men to propose to me, and all of those times I've been a mom, right? I know the genre of men. Like, I've had an NBA player, pastors, priests, you know, CEOs, CFOs approach me, and they know that I have children, right? So it doesn't really bother me because I know who I am, and I know, you know, the right people will see exactly who I am and what I am. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me at all.
Nick, does your lady have kids?
She does not.
She doesn't. How old is she?
She's 26.
She's 26?
She is.
Now, did she twist your arm before coming on here to tell you that you got to claim her today? Because technically, you single till you married. So,
That's
you
true.
know, did she tell you had to claim her, or you made that choice?
No, I made that choice.
You made that choice.
I did.
And what would you say, because you're 30, what would you say as a man you are looking for in a woman to ask her to be your wife?
Yeah, first and foremost, you got to fear God, because that's who I follow, and that's who I think every good man is going to follow, God. At any point in time, and God could switch things up. You know, I think I'm going here, and God is like, go here. I don't want to argue with you and God, because I'm already upset with what God is telling me to do. So I would love for you to fear God with me. Somebody who's a thought partner, like when God made Adam and he gave him Eve, he said, for you, I'll make a helper. And to help me, you got to be able to think with me. Think about where we going, think about what we about to do. So I would like somebody to be helpful in thinking, and somebody that's fun. Life is short, so I like somebody to have fun with.
And so with that being said, Nick, if you could, you know, write your destiny.
Yes, sir.
When will you be married?
When would I be married?
When will you be married?
If I could write my destiny, I'd probably be married with whenever God wants me to. I'll say that, whatever his will is, that's what I want. But I'll probably be married within the next year.
Okay, within the next year. You really feel that way?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I do.
And now, have you ladies, have you thought about, like, and when I say thought about it, I mean like literally sat and processed when you look at this dating market and ask yourself, would I be okay if I was single until both my children are grown? Have you asked yourself that question and thought about that reality?
yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
Both of you have?
I have, yeah.
And what did you come away with? What was the feeling?
I'm okay with it. Like I said, I have one daughter who's 18 years old and the other one is 9. I'm still pretty young, so I'm okay with that. Yep.
Me too. I used to get disappointed about it because I'm a person who is family oriented, and I didn't have that coming up as a kid. So I really want a family. I do want that, house on the hill, the picket fence, all that. But I sat with myself, after being divorced, 2 kids, single. I'm still progressing with my career in the military. I always wonder, will I sit down for someone? And I'm okay if I don't get married. As long I had kids, so like I got my boys to live through. I can see them grow up and get married, so I'm okay with that. So it used to bother me, but now it doesn't.
Mm-hmm. And how old are you again?
I'm 33.
And you say you were married?
I was. It was just for a year. It
Just
was
for
quick
a year.
and fast.
Was it to get the benefits in the military?
It was, but
We don't want the government to come. So now, was it you want the benefits or he want the benefits?
I think we both did.
Both of y'all were in the military.
Yeah, so it got real serious for us. We was catching feelings, and it was a lot.
That's deeper than we think, though. That's deeper than we think, because I hear that a lot. So, and you a vet, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
How long were you in
3
service?
years.
3 years?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
And I know we got a lot of vets watching, but that's deeper than we think. But if we take it outside of the military and we put it just into the perspective of, here's 2 people that if they get married, they get more money and they get more benefits. So why don't we do that outside? Why don't we realize that outside of the military? That if we get together, we get more money and we get more benefits, because now we get a benefit that's greater than what the government can give us. We get the favor of God.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
if
sir.
you come together and you could get the favor of God,
Yeah.
when y'all get married in the military, what do you get? What do they give y'all? Because I'm like, why is this so attractive?
So if you a lower class, and when I say lower class, like lower ranking, they pretty much put you in the barracks, like E1 to E5 typically go in the barracks. For women, single women who have kids, they can live on their own with their kids outside of the barracks. But however, like, most men, they want to get out the barracks. They don't want to live there or be around, away from the military. And like you get that housing stipend, you get like,
How much is that?
it depends on the area you in.
So y'all area, how much was it? I'm just really trying to get to the bottom of this, because I want to understand, like, what would make you get married for a little bit of benefit. So how much more you got?
So I get just for house. It's not based off of my base pay or anything else. Just for housing to take care of my family, it's about a little over 2,400.
2,400?
Just for housing.
Just for getting married?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting
with
married too.
dependents. Yeah.
Okay, and what other benefits do you get? Is that the only one?
That's the one, but you get the medical and all of that.
Do both of you get 2,400?
Yeah. So if you get a spouse, y'all get married, you get that medical, you get the BAH, you get like additional care, like if your spouse want to go to school, they go for free. Those type of things.
Does it go away when you get a divorce?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so y'all tried it. It only lasts a year.
Yeah, we got married, and it was really based off of me. Not so much the benefits for me, because I already had kids, but for him. But I was coming in as a single parent, and it's pretty much frowned upon with the military, because they want you to be ready to go. Like once you sign your name, you gotta, they don't want you to have anything back home that's cutting you off from the mission. So I didn't want to lose custody of my kids. And so I wanted to keep my kids on paper. I wanted them to have the benefits that they needed as far as medical and things like that. So me and him, we got married. I hope I don't get in trouble. But
I get it.
We got married and everything. But we started catching feelings, and it got pretty serious for us. And I still had like my kid's dad in the picture a little bit, and it was a lot. So me and my kid's dad, we was not together, but we were working on things, and then me marrying this person, it just kind of like threw a wrench in a lot of things for us, because I got serious with this person, and that wasn't supposed to happen. And
Right. I see what you mean. And now, have you been married before?
Never married.
Okay.
Engaged. Well, 3 people have proposed, but I was engaged to get married. Yeah. one
Okay.
time.
You was engaged to get married.
Yes.
And then you say 3 people have proposed.
Yes.
Now, did they feel like real proposals, or was it like how I used to do?
What she used to do.
Just to get in there. Hey, I want to marry you. I love you.
Look, now that I'm thinking about it, no, I think that it was fast engagements, and I'm not a big fan of like fast stuff. But it was within like 6 months of dating these people, and so yeah, I was never like, I'm engaged to this person. But my last one, we were engaged. We were like 3 months away from the wedding before I called it off.
Okay.
So my wedding dress is still hanging in my closet now.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to ask y'all this, and as we coming closer to a close, if God put you in charge of righting the wrongs in our relationships, just the dating world, the dating scene, what changes do you think need to happen between men and women? What changes do men need to make? What changes do women need to make for us to have more marriages?
I think dying to self, and just really being selfless. I think as a mom, I've really understood what it is to be selfless. As a parent, you cannot just think about yourself, and I think that will take marriages a long way. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you think more singles, if they died to self, they would get married more often? Okay.
And I think too, coming off of like a back away from social media a little bit too, it's just such a fairy tale world in the Instagram and all that stuff. So.
Or a nightmare world.
Yeah.
Or like all the back and forth, the hate, men versus women.
Yes, exactly.
What would you say?
I'm in a fraternity. People are denouncing fraternities right now. I think people need to denounce themselves, as you just said. I need to denounce me. I think putting me center is probably the reason I'm single right now.
Yeah, because you 30.
Yes, sir.
Still young.
Yes, sir.
Still very young.
Yeah.
But when you called by God, do you feel called by God, or do you feel you just came?
Oh, I'm called.
You called.
Yes, sir.
And so you need to be married more so than anybody, because you facing the temptation like we all face.
Yeah.
And that's honestly why I got married at 23, because it was something, I don't know what it was, but God said your life cannot go forward until you conquer, until you slay this demon. I can't use you. And I got married at 23 to get out of sin, like the Bible say, better to marry than to burn. And them first 2 years, it was like hell on earth, just trying to, on my own strength. So I say that to encourage you. Like, the enemy gonna put that fear there, and you're gonna wonder if you could do it. You're gonna wonder if she's the one. But you gotta remember that love is not found. So if you're looking for love in a woman, you'll never find it. Love is created, meaning that if the two of you come together and you both submit and surrender, then it'll happen. At least, what would you say is the solution to our problems?
To be honest, I think it's the music. Like, I just watch, like, even at work, I just watch them, like, looking at my soldiers. I'm like this is what y'all listen to. And they be hyped. They be like, this is how you, like, you do. Like, they think, like, the music that they listening to, like, this will get them this girl, or they portraying or acting like that person that's rapping, like, the lyrics. I'm like that's, and I sit down and I talk to them all the time, like, that's why y'all can't get a good girl, because this is the music y'all listen to. And then you go out here and you do see a good girl and she's boring to you. So when you constantly in the club and then you portraying what this man saying on a rap song, like, y'all don't live the same life. He rich. He made it. You over here, you in the military. You trying to make sure you stay alive every day. So I try to, like, I try to put myself in their shoes and, like, okay, you know, I was young once. I like listening to City Girls when I'm trying to get hype for PT or something. But it's just the thing that they really live it. And for me, it's entertainment. And I be wanting them to understand, like, this is not really your life. This is not how you treat women. And I think it's the music that's really making it hard for like men to be their best self and to not let the music dictate their life.
You know, I like to give credit where credit is due. And what I would say is, Alicia, and y'all said a lot of great things, and I agree with everything you said, but it's a different calling on your life. And I don't know if you realize that, but just the way that you think and the way that you process things and being able to cut through the noise and get to the root, because a lot of people don't think about what we've always heard, that Satan was the minister of music and he was this great, musician. And a lot of people don't think that how much we listen to music, like go to sleep to music, drive to music, work out to music, and how much power is in that. So for you to go right there and realize that that has so much power, I want to see you on my mentor.life coaching and, helping people. But then also too, you are, and you a vet, so were you ever in the service?
No.
You're in a lost society. Because whether you admit it or not, a lot of times we go to the service when we feel lost. And we want security. We want benefits. We want a job track that we can trace, and we know if I stay in here and I do this, I'm a climb. And a lot of times we come out without a clue. And we starting all over if we didn't have a plan. So you're also in that space too, to where I think God got you there for a reason, to help those young men.
I've been thinking about that. Like, I don't know why. I think about it all the time, because after I had my second son, like I told his dad, I said, I don't think I want to. I was working for Vital Records in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm like, I don't think I can see myself processing birth certificates, death certificates every day. I just don't see it. Just sitting down here. He like, join the military. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And he helped me get in shape. And I got on that bus, and I didn't look back since, because I feel like it was the greatest decision I ever made. And when I got in the military and got to see the Army for itself, I'm like, wow, like, because I'm older. So I'm looking at boys, females, 18, all the way up to 30, 40, and they do look lost. And it saddens me, because I think about my own sons, and maybe I feel the way I do for men, because I got two boys, but I feel like I can help them, and I feel like this is where God wants me. And I talk about getting out all the time, like, everybody gets sick of that job, but I'm really there for the soldiers, and I really want to push them. I really want them to be great men. I don't just want them to just serve in the military and move on with their life. I want them to be their best selves every day, and that's what I try to push whenever I have a conversation with any type of man, black, white, Asian. Like, I really want to know the essence of who they are, and I want to see them not just a soldier, but as a man. Like, you here to take care of your family, you here to make it. So their life is way more important to me than anything else.
I appreciate that. And that right there just made this episode dedicated to the soldiers. So if y'all felt lost and forgotten about, this one is for you. I do have a lot of clients that's in the service and a lot of clients that's vets. But one thing I would title this episode really is emotional intelligence. And just hearing y'all answers and where you are in your life and how you processing things and not letting the world beat you down. So I commend y'all, and I'm wishing y'all the best on your journey. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.